Hey guys, and welcome back. I am welcoming you to the last video of this video series, and in this video we are just going to create the footer, a responsive footer with social media icons, some input boxes and some links. So anyways, let's get into the coding, and let me remind you once again, if you want to create just one section of the website, you don't have to follow the entire video series. You just have to follow the second video in this video series, in which we have defined the CSS classes, because those are the classes that we have used extensively throughout the HTML part. So you just have to create those CSS classes. So for that, just go through the second video, and after that you just have to follow the video for the section that you want to create. Let's say you want to create this footer, so just go through the second video, create those CSS classes, then you just have to jump back directly to the last video and create this footer. You don't have to follow the entire video series. So that was pretty much the gist of it. Anyways, let's get into the coding and let's start with the footer. So let's begin with a footer tag and class, just as always, wrapper to make the display block, and remove the margin and padding. Alright, and let's give it an ID, main hyphen footer. Let me see in the browser. Okay, we have to begin with the social icons. So for that, let's create a container div. This is going to contain all the icons, and let's have the ID social hyphen icons. Then get inside and create another div and give it class text hyphen center to center align the icons. Then get inside and let me just quickly give a title and a subtitle. And if you notice, we are using a dark gray color with the subtitle and a black color with the title. Alright. Then get below it and let's start with the icons. So create a div and class text hyphen white. This will make the icons white. Then get inside and create span tag and class btn space btn hyphen social space soc icon or soc icon hyphen bg hyphen facebook space mx hyphen 2. We have already seen this btn class, which is used to define a button, but since this is not the general button that we have been using throughout the page, this is going to be a round one. So that's why we are not using the btn-pink with it, and we are using a different one, that is btn-social, and this soc icon-bg-facebook will be used to add a special or a different color to the Facebook icon. Then mx-2 will add 2 rem of margin on the right and the left of it. Then get inside and create I tag. Then class fab space fa hyphen Facebook. This will define the font awesome icons. Save it and let's see in the browser. Alright. I don't know if you can see the icon, but it is there and it is even having the hovering effect. Then copy this entire span tag, because this span is defining one icon. So paste it as many times as you want and just change the name of the classes according to the icons that you want. So I am just going to fast forward through this part. You can keep pausing the video and follow it. Alright. So you can see where this div containing all the icons is ending. So we have to move outside the container for the social icons, but stay inside the footer. Don't go outside the footer. And now we will define the main content for the footer. So create a div and class p-4. This will add 4 rem of padding all within it. Then bg-light-pink to add the light pink background to the footer. Then get inside and create another div. Class d-flex-r to have the flex direction as a row, and all the contents of the footer be defined in single row but in different columns. Then text black, and let's give it an ID as well, since this div is going to divide all the columns of the footer. And we will begin with the contact part where we will define the address. So for that, create a div and class d-flex-c, because within this div we want the content to be aligned into different rows but in a single column. Then w-30 to give it 30% of the width of its container, and let's give it an class contact-address so that we can refer it in the CSS if we need it. In the same way, let's define the other columns as well. Alright, so 30 plus 30 plus 30 will equal 90%. The rest of the 10% will be used for the margin. Then get inside the contact address column or the first column, and it will begin with the image, a small one. So let's create a div to contain the image. And within the div create a tag so that the image becomes a link also. And within the reference part you can write the URL. Then within the tag you can define the image. And add style attribute and height 5 rem so that we can reduce the size of the image. Alright. Then get outside this div which is containing the image, but stay within the div which is defining the contact address. Don't go outside of that div. Just come outside the div with the image. Alright. Now let's define the address. Create a div class address and create title. Then let's create the rest of the address using p tag. And break tag is used to insert one line so that we can change the line. Alright, now get outside the div which is containing the address. And let's create another div for contact. Then create the title for the contact. And similarly, let's create the paragraph text for the contact. Let's begin with email. Create a tag or the anchor tag, and in the reference write mail to colon, then your email ID, then class. To format it, we want it to be in black color and bold. Then within the text, you can write the email so that it is visible there. So if we click on the email, the default application on your system for sending or receiving email will be opened up so that an email can be sent to this email address. Anyways, then insert a breakpoint or a break tag and write the phone number. Alright, so the first column is complete. Now let's get inside the second column, which is the opening hours. And let me just add text hyphen center to the div so that the text is center aligned. Alright, then get inside and let's begin with the title for this column. You can see that in the browser. Then create a div. This div is going to have two different columns as we have seen in the website. So for that, let's have d-flex-r and no margin. Let's begin with the left column. The left column is going to have the name of the week days. So create a div and this will have the class d-flex-c, and we want them to be bold and right aligned. And let's give it 45% width. Alright, and copy this entire left column, paste it, and let's make it right column. And we have to remove this text hyphen bold so that the text becomes normal. And here we want the alignment of the text on the left. So in total we will get 45 plus 45, that is 90% width. Alright, then get inside the left column and create span tag. Within the span tag, keep writing the days of the week. Alright. In the same way, let's create span tags in the right column. And within those span tags, you have to write the timings. So I am just writing one simple timing. You can have different timings for different days. Alright. You can see that in the browser that the left column is right aligned. That is, it is towards the timings which is on the right column. Alright. So this creates the second column as well. Now get inside the third one, that is get in touch, and let's start with the title. Then get inside and create a form tag. This form tag is used for creating a form for user input, and a form can contain text fields, radio buttons, or check boxes. And we are going to define the text fields within this, and we are going to wrap the input fields within div class. Let's give it margin of 1 rem on the top and bottom to separate the different input fields. Then get inside and create the input tag, type text, name, let's say name, class, field, and the placeholder name. Whatever we write inside the placeholder attribute is displayed in the input boxes by default. So let's see in the browser. And you can see that the name is written in the box. So copy this entire div, paste it, type remains the same. Let's change the name to contact, and the value for the placeholder attribute as well. Alright. Then leave some space and create another div, class form-group, and let's add 2 rem of margin on the top and bottom of this. And within this div, we are going to define the text area. A text area tag defines a multi-line text input, so it can hold an unlimited number of characters, and the size of the text area can be specified by the number of columns and rows attributes, or even we can use CSS to add height and width property to this text area. So let's add 2 rows. Alright. Now below the text area, we just have to add the button, and as always, we will enclose the button within the div tag. Alright. Let's minimize the columns. Alright. Now you can see where this div, which is containing the class d-flex-r is ending. You can clearly see that. pause the video and see it where the div is ending, and this div is containing the ID main footer divider. Get outside of this div and then create a p tag. Using this p tag, we are going to add some copyright information. Alright. Then below the p tag, we will create a small button, which is a scroll to top button. And in the reference part, we are writing hash my page because this is the ID of the body. Then let me define the I tag with the font awesome icon for that up arrow symbol. And let me just quickly show you the ID of the body tag. Alright. So this completes the HTML part. Also, let's quickly jump to the footer in the CSS. So let's start styling the social icons because we are going to give different colors to the different social icons. So I'm going to fast forward this part also because there's nothing much for me to explain. I'm just going to refer to the different icons that we have already defined, and we will define the background color as well as the border color, because if we don't specify the border color, the animation will not take place, and the animation has been defined with the btn class, so we don't have to do anything except defining the border color. And I'm going to do the same with all the social icons. So keep pausing the video and try to follow it. Alright. Now let's make the icons rounded. For that we will use the btn-social class. Let's have the width height and the line height same. Alright. Then let's begin with the footer, the main content for the footer. And in the second column, let's align it to the beginning of the flex or the flex start or the top. Alright. Now let's style the input boxes, and we have used the form control class with the text area and the field class with the input boxes. Let's style them. And change the font style as well. Alright. Let's remove the border. Alright. And also let's make it transparent. And let's add some padding on the top and bottom only. And also let's add the border only on the bottom. Still we are getting this outline. Let's get rid of that by using the colon focus selector, since the outline is visible only when we focus on the input boxes. Alright. Now also let's add text area. Alright. Now the last thing that we have to do in this video series is the media queries for the footer, and below 768 breakpoint we want the columns of the footer to be aligned into different rows, and for that we are going to use the d-flex-r class. And we will change the row direction to column. We have been using this throughout the video series. And you can see that now. And also, if you want to see which class I am talking about, it is this one, d-flex-r, and these are the 3 columns that are getting aligned in different rows. Now let's add some padding on the bottom of each column. All right. Now let's style this copyright text. And also let's position this back to top or scroll to top button and style it. Let's give it the background color light pink. Alright. Let's give it a high Z index so that it is always on top of other elements, and display as inline block so that it can be displayed with other elements. Position fixed, and bottom 1.5 rem, right 1.5 rem. So it will be at a distance of 1.5 rem from the bottom right corner. Then let's give it a width of 3 rem. Then height of 3 rem, as well as the line height of 3 rem. Then have font size 2 rem. And add a transition effect as well. And let's make it a little opaque. All right. Alright, so with this the entire website is complete with all the sections and all the knits and grids. You can go ahead, personalize it more or design it even further, use it in your project or use it for practice. And if you like my video series, please don't forget to like and comment on my videos, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also let me know in the comments how much you have liked the videos, and also give your feedbacks in the comments about the things that you have liked or disliked about this video series. Your valuable comments are always welcomed. So I am going to see you in the next video series. Till then, take care and thanks for watching.